Flutter, 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 flutter. I'm a bat. Flutter, flutter, flutter.
Oh!
Welcome to our annual tradition of remembering last minute that this is our Halloween listener episode.
I don't know.
Listen, you had something going there.
There you go. Happy almost Halloween. It is Halloween the 1st, if you will.
That's right. It's the first.
Happy Halloween the 1st,
Advent
Christine.
Day. By the way, people are starting to do Advent calendars for Halloween, and I'm so in support of this. I think this is genius behavior.
I saw one last year that is now being brought back by storm, which is like every day you get a different crystal, which I thought was fun.
Oh, cute.
There's other ones that are candy. I love any reason for an FLT. And if you're going to give me 30 days of FLTs, I'm going to just take it.
Absolutely. Speaking of FLTs, we're very excited. And by the way, if you don't know what the hell that is, don't Google it because it's going to tell you something that's not what we're talking about. Because in our world, FLT means fun little treat, which is a beautiful name M invented, a concept M invented. Speaking of fun little treats, we are very excited because we were meant to announce this sooner and we forgot, of course, that we are doing our annual Cryptids Unscripted very soon. Oh yeah, that's what's a wolf? What's a werewolf? Is what that is in the background.
Yes, we're doing Cryptids Unscripted. A lot of people thought we were going to do it for Friday the 13th. Very sneaky.
That would have been very smart, and yet
would have been very smart. But you know what? Instead, we said, nah, we're going to do it for Halloween. Is that what we're doing? Are
we announcing what? Yes, and we're also doing. It's on Halloween. We're very excited because it'll be like a little pop-up episode. The merch, we're doing merch, which I'm mostly excited for, which comes out October 4th. And it's going to have, oh my God, the design is so fun. It's like an actual slam poetry scene with like Mothman, and it's like kind of 1950s-esque. I'm just really amped for it. And they did a really good job with it. But yeah, it's where we read our cryptid slam poetry. And if you have a submission, you can send that in. I believe we have an email address that I'm just making Eva text me on the fly. Sorry, Eva. So Eva just sent it, atwwdfromourcouches. That is usually where we have submissions for things like this, like virtual shows and that kind of thing, and virtual like live listener episodes, that kind of thing. So if you have a slam poetry submission, a cryptid slam poetry submission, please send that in. I'm sure most of you do on hand that you've already written. I think we all do. So, just send that on over. And on Halloween, we can all do a little listening party with some rain and some jazz.
Yeah, it will be heavily produced with one jazz soundtrack that we put
that
across.
I invented many years ago and is royalty free. Yes, that's right. I've done it again.
But we're very excited to share some stories with you. So in one way, October, since it's spooky season, it will be a 2 listeners episode month for you. One at the beginning of the month and one at the end. So
also, happy birthday, Leona. Every year. I forget she's Leona. 3.
Every year for almost 3 years.
Wow.
Does that mean she officially wears 3T?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Well, she's growing into it. She's like 17th percentile for height or something, so.
Okay.
We got a little longer.
Good, because I recently bought her a 2T something, and I'm scared that she won't wear it for very long. But that's okay. We'll make it work. Ha ha ha. Okay. Happy 3rd birthday, Leona. As a mom of 3 years and 9 months, how do you feel, Christine?
Oh, that's nice. Great. We're doing a dino party, and it's outside, so I don't need to clean my house. I'm thrilled.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Are you going to have a dinosaur come to the party?
3 Rex. No, I am going to have a lot of activities and coloring and adopt a dinosaur and all sorts of fun stuff.
Are you going to get her those little
invitation?
I don't know. I haven't checked the mail since I got home yesterday.
Okay. We'll check the mail.
Are you going to get her those little sponges that are dinosaur shaped and then you put them in the water and they
already
grow?
Did. They're in the goodie bags.
What about the eggs that you can scratch and then?
Of course, excavation eggs. Yep, got those.
I think those are my 2 favorite.
Is this your RSVP?
Things.
Are you coming?
When's the date? Her birthday?
October 5th. Type.
October 5th, Allison's family's in town.
Damn it, Allison.
I don't know what to tell you.
I didn't know introducing you to would have such dire consequences on my life.
Me too. I mean, I ended up in a house that's like too fucking small, so I get it. Thanks, Christine, for introducing us, and now I'm in this little tight nook. I'm only stressed about that because what I have to do today, other than record, is I have to clean, and I just don't want to.
That sounds like my nightmare, which is why I'm hosting a party outside, even though it's October. So, wish me luck.
I am coming around to this place, which someone commented saying, like, such a shame. Em clearly hates living there. Wouldn't you, if you lived in tight quarters with everything and also now have to pay 10 grand for a wire to get moved? Yes, I do hate it a little bit currently, but it's going to be lovely.
I guess I don't know. Hate is a really strong word though, but yeah, I suppose.
And moments like that, yeah, I do fucking hate it. You would hate it too. But when things are clean and we can actually walk around and we're not just like sitting in boxes, I won't hate it anymore. It's just, and I have to do that today, which makes me absolutely just want to
kind of swings between
up.
very extreme emotions. So sometimes they're just extremely bad. That's just how it is.
I just live in hyperbole, and that's fine.
That's beautiful. So
thank
poetic.
you. So you can think I hate it, and half the time you're probably right. That's fine. Anyway, I will hate it less when this place is clean. It's just never been clean since we moved in. We're just still living in boxes. It's crazy. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Where are we? It is spooky season. Do you know what you're dressing up as for Halloween, Christine?
Not even a little bit. My brain has not extended past this today.
Allison and I were going to dress up as something from a reality show, and I don't remember what it was anymore.
That must be very timely since you've forgotten it already.
Probably. And it's also, we watched reality shows far after they've come out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I was like, wait a minute. Was it Below Deck?
I think it was. I think she's going to be Captain Sandy. I'm going to be Captain Lee. I think that's how it's going to be. But I'm not sure yet.
That's nice.
Captain Sandy is one of Allison's only celebrity crushes in the entire world.
I have heard about that.
And I have a crush on everybody else. So it works out.
That's beautiful.
Okay. Spooky season. Cryptids Unscripted on Halloween Day. Expect an episode from us where we read your spooky stuff. And now we got some general Halloween stories for you. Eva has picked some spooky stuff to kick off October the right way. And I'm going to go first.
Great.
Christine.
While I find a link. Awesome.
Perfect. Are you drinking your bathroom grog that you found on the floor?
Okay, so Em thought it was so weird. I guess it's weird. Maybe. I guess I didn't think it was weird until I said it out loud and then you reacted. But I did find a box. So we were on our Yappy Hour on Patreon talking about how like deeply unhinged we were during the week of our first show when we've really just made the most poor decisions, as we like to call the tour, and we didn't know how perfect that name would be, and how little we slept and how just our brains were scrambled. And I, as an example, at the end, I was like, yeah, like last night I went to my bathroom to brush my teeth for the first time, probably all week. And I found a box of wine on the bath, like just sitting next to my towels. And I was like, how did that even get here? And the thing is, I have one downstairs. So I'm like, I don't even know how this appeared. Like, I'm not mad about it. But because it's a box, it's not like affected by the bathroom.
I think I'm worried about the spout touching the floor.
I mean, I'm not like peeing on the floor of the bathroom.
Okay. Then sure. Then it's going to be fine.
Are you?
The wine on the inside is probably delicious.
The way that you just said, yeah, that's okay in that case.
Well, I mean, because it's a floor and it's a bathroom floor. I wouldn't want to
it's not on the bathroom floor.
Oh, I thought you said you found it on the floor.
No, I just found it in the bathroom.
That's fine.
Not on the counter next to all my towels. And I thought, this is weird. I don't know how this got here, but I'm really excited. And I was going to go get it, but then I was worried because Em made such a disgusted face, but then looked concerned. And I was like, if Em was disgusted, that's one thing. If Em's concerned, then maybe I should listen.
No, I encourage it now that it wasn't on the floor.
No, it was not on the floor. But it has been on the floor and whatever. I don't care. You know that about me, and
I sure do.
Yeah, nothing phases me, but I am instead drinking a beer because I found it in my little mini fridge up here
on the floor.
On the floor of my mini fridge in the bathroom.
All of you know we're on tour right now, and Mint Mobile saved us. Well, Christine quite a lot.
Yes, they've saved my butt. I can not tell you how many times, actually Eva and Em probably can because it's a lot, but I've run out on stage, seriously, opened my iPad and been like, uh-oh, I never connected to the venue Wi-Fi and I don't have the updated script. So this time around, it's been amazing because the iPad is actually hooked up to Mint Mobile data.
With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. And with Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again.
With premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month.
All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/drink. That's mintmobile.com/drink.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay, well, our first story comes from Gracie, who uses she, her pronouns. Thank you for normalizing pronouns. And the subject line is my family's experience with a gateway to hell.
Oh,
I love that it was like a family memory.
I know. It sounds like actually kind of like fun.
Gracie says, hi, everyone. My name is Gracie, and I have been listening since 2017. Wow.
Shut up.
OG listener. And I have a unique story that I would like your opinions on. I love giving my opinion.
By the way, I love being invited to give my opinion because then it's like no holds barred.
I live near Stull Cemetery, supposedly one of the 7 gates of hell, located a few miles outside of Lawrence, Kansas, which is
We're going there.
Where I will be seeing you front row this month.
I was about to start yelling at her, and then I was like, wait.
I mean,
just give it a minute.
Stull is a very small, unincorporated community in the county, and I live with a cemetery that is the subject of a ton of local legend. It is said that the devil visits Stull twice a year using a staircase that is hidden on Halloween and on the spring equinox, and has been doing this since the 1850s. So I like that.
He's like 1850s. I guess I'll step on down. I like
1849 came around, and he was like, I really got to start zhuzhing it up. What do I do on the spring equinox?
Why don't I go to Kansas? That seems like the right thing to do.
Of all the places on Earth, Kansas is the ticket. Less known stories say he began visiting because he is visiting the grave of a local witch he had a child with. Oh, so he's a present father.
Oh, okay. My. Well, he's present 2 days a year.
Yeah. Well, so's my dad, so whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's more than a lot of dads, so good job.
A limestone church that used to stand in the center of the cemetery is another main subject of many of the legends. A story about the church I remember being told on many occasions was that even years after it had been abandoned and began crumbling, rain never fell within the area of the foundation, despite fallen walls and damaged or missing roofs.
Ooh.
The church was mysteriously torn down in March of 2002 without the knowledge of the owner. Oh my God.
What? How do you do that? You just bring a big wrecking ball?
Can you imagine just finding out that your building's gone?
And your church, of all things.
Yeah, you're just
That's
like,
gotta
wait.
feel ominous.
You're like, hang on. Whoa, hang on.
It's like somebody just like took the inside of your house. It's like, it must be so jarring that you're like, wasn't there a building here? Like, wasn't my building here?
It's like, also there's a lot of like decrepit buildings. Am I forgetting where I left mine?
Did I miss something? Yeah.
Only Christine Schiefer could lose a building, though.
And I probably will, and I probably have. Yeah.
And I've always said that. Many people that visit Stull report losing time as they explore the remains of the church and look for the hidden staircase. Over the years, there has unfortunately been a lot of vandalism and destruction because of how popular the legend is. And visitors are no longer encouraged as large no trespassing signs are everywhere and there is significant police presence in the area.
Wow.
Damn. So I was going to say you and I could have a little picnic in a
private
cemetery.
Outing.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
Some of the stories admittedly sometimes sound a bit out there, and I think that unfortunately takes away any credibility of of stories from Stull with the locals here. I would also be a skeptical local if it wasn't for my family's personal stories in Stull. When I was about 15 or 16, my cousin and I were really into anything spooky, and my paternal aunt decided to tell us about some of her times there with her friends when they would go to the cemetery to look for the staircase in the early 90s.
You gotta have a kooky aunt to like egg you on.
especially on your dad's side, if you want a relationship with anyone on your dad's side, it's got to be the kooky
It's
aunt.
got to be the sister. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of videos where people realize that, like, when their brother has a kid, they're going to be on their dad's side of the family and they just cannot recoup from that information.
No.
So you just got to be the
paternal.
the paternal aunt. Oh my God.
Yikes.
So, kooky aunt said that the church, which was not completely demolished at the time, always had some strange items in it or looked like some spooky activities or rituals had taken place there. Her main story, though, was about her success in finding the staircase. Leave it to the kooky paternal aunt.
She would. She'd probably just stumbled across it by accident, too.
Oh, yeah. Of course. She was looking for her floor wine, and she
I was
just
going
found
to say
it.
she was looking for her wine. See, I'm made for this job. And, of course, probably none of my siblings will have kids, and I'll just be the fucking cuckoo aunt for nobody. It's so annoying.
It's going to be just Leona being like, that's my mom. Please don't talk to her.
I need someone else to have a kid I can just be kooky toward.
It's like in the new Beetlejuice movie where like Jenna Ortega's like, yes, that's my mom. She grew up in the Beetlejuice manor. That's going to be Leona.
Yeah. I'm fucking
Please
over
don't
her.
talk to her too long. She'll like get the wrong idea that you
don't
want
make eye
this.
contact. Yeah, it's not good. She drank floor wine again last night. It's been a rough day.
The day that Leona goes to her kindergarten teacher and says, Mommy and her floor wine had a great time last night, you'll know you're in trouble.
Well, you know what's so funny? It's not funny. Well, it's a little funny. And I did
can't
not
wait.
do this on purpose.
What?
Whenever I drink wine, she just calls everything that's a grown-up beverage that she's not allowed to have coffee. So she's like, Mommy drinks a lot of coffee. And I'm like, yes, Mommy does drink a lot of coffee.
There's I know
just
one
don't
kid
correct her.
I know one kid who calls it Mommy's fun juice. Mommy has fun when she has her
if
juice.
Leona went to school and said Mommy's fun juice, I think CPS might be called, or something might be called. I mean, but Mommy drinks coffee. It's like, seems mundane enough.
It's almost as if you taught her in advance to hide it.
I didn't,
from
and
the public.
it almost felt like, well, she did it on her own, so I feel like I can't correct her. I'm just gonna let
it's
her call
Mommy's
it
coffee, but it's her spicy coffee that
I
won't
call
like.
it hot sometimes.
Yep.
So I'm like, it's hot. Don't touch it.
Okay, so Cookie
Am
Aunt.
I the Happy birthday, Leona. Am I the world's worst mother? Probably. I'm sorry.
Cookie Aunt found the staircase. My aunt told us her and her friends had found it after a while of searching and said it was more difficult than they thought, but also were surprised to find it even existed. And then they decided to go down the stairs, of course.
No.
The group stopped after 15 minutes, an already insane amount of time to be on any set of stairs, by the way, and checked their watches to find it had actually been about 2 hours since they had started the stairs.
Absolutely not.
You know what I would have fucking done?
What?
I would have sat there and prepared to die because I would have been like, there's no way I'm taking 2 hours of uphill stairs. There's no way. I'm just done for.
I'm just convinced that's aliens or something. I don't like it.
You know what's so funny though? Imagine if the staircase is actually super shallow and for 2 hours they were just stomping in place.
Oh yeah, they were just going up like incrementally millimeter at a time.
They were just like doing like high knees on the stairs.
2 hours later.
Yeah, I'm most curious about like what their thigh muscles felt like the next day.
Well, it said they were going down the stairs, I thought.
I know, but don't you have to go back up the stairs to tell your niece about the story?
Oh, I'm assuming that they were just like, you could go down them and it would still be like on, you walk around. I don't know. I didn't think you'd have to walk up them, but maybe.
I assume if you're going downstairs, eventually you have to go upstairs, but I don't know.
I mean, but if they're just like abandoned and they don't go to anything, I don't know.
Gracie, we'll ask you at the show. Mm-hmm. Now at 24, I want to believe my aunt was feeding my cousin and I stories. I was like, feeding my cousin. Was feeding my cousin and I stories that would get us riled up, but the way that my dad reacts to it all makes me believe that what my aunt told us as kids was actually true. My dad has worked for our county sheriff's office for 27 years, and in that time he has patrolled and worked countless calls at Stull Cemetery. One thing about my dad that's important to know is that he is a very much no bullshit guy and would not entertain or encourage anything that may have the potential to get us in trouble with the law. When I asked him about his sister's stories and if they were true, I expected him to tell us don't believe in that silly stuff and don't trespass. However, for years, anytime I asked about it, the only thing he would say is don't ever go there.
Oh,
well,
that's not what you tell a teenager. Sorry.
Right, exactly.
Lesson number 1.
Like, I would be there tonight.
Immediately.
I would push and ask about what he has seen in his time there, and he still would say, just don't ever go there. What would you believe? Thanks. Oh, what would you believe? They're asking us. Thanks for taking the time to read my little local story. If you've been interested in more spooky places in Lawrence, I highly suggest the Eldridge Hotel, which I'm sure Christina will be putting us in now that that's there. All my love, Gracie.
Oh, wow. Okay, Gracie, I love that you were like, anyway, so I listened to my dad and did not go to the stairs. And I'm like,
yeah,
wait,
well
what?
done. If my dad said do anything, it's exactly the opposite of what I'll be doing.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's creepy. I don't know.
I would believe it.
I believe it.
I do have a lot of questions about what happened when they realized they were 2 hours downstairs.
I know. I wish there was more. Is your aunt still with us? Because I would love for you to ask her more questions. Because
I
I'm
was like,
so curious.
imagine the hike. It had to be just like a quick thing of stairs, and like just in that 10-second period of getting downstairs, like they just lost memory of whatever happened on the stairs.
Yeah, but it said they spent 15 minutes on the stairs. I'm like, doing what?
Yeah. Didn't they think these are a lot of fucking stairs?
15 minutes? Were
15
they just
minutes is half an episode of a TV show. That's a third of a Law and Order.
Oh,
I would literally just first of all, did you not look down and see how far it goes? Absolutely.
no, I think they were just standing there. I don't think they were like walking for 15. I mean, maybe they were. Okay, maybe I misunderstood. I thought it was just like they hung out on the stairs, like sitting around or like.
Maybe you're right, because your version sounds a lot less miserable than mine.
I mean, it does. That's what I'm telling myself. Anyway.
I'm really hooked on like maybe they were just truly going up and down these fucking stairs.
For 15 for 2 hours, kill me.
Okay, so that was Gracie's story.
Okay.
Thank you for your story. The most terrifying part was, in fact, the stairs. So
honestly, put a trigger warning for M next time, please. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's see. I have a story here. Number 2. This one's called My Childhood Imaginary Friend, the Demon. Uh-oh.
Okay.
This is from Kat, she, her, and it says, Hi all, I'm currently working through old episodes of yours. I started at episode 1 in 2020. That feels fitting to start at episode 1 in 2020.
Truly, yes.
So I'm still about 3 years behind. Oof. So pardon me if this isn't still a thing you do in 2024. Oh, it is. Nothing really much changes.
Show is.
And now that I've gotten my anxiety rambles out of the way, let's crack into it. I've got several stories, but this one deserves its own write-in. When I was young, around 3 or so, I had 3 imaginary friends. For now,
3.
the main... Yeah. Cool. How many did you have? Did you have imaginary friends?
I think I had one for like a second, but then I think I got shamed very quickly out of having an imaginary friend. But 3 is a party. Like
3 sounds like a riot. Yeah.
Don't you get tired of them? Tell them to go home.
I mean, seriously.
Maybe you needed one for every like event. Like what if there was like a fancy,
like one for school,
casual, a kickback.
I had a school imaginary friend.
Because
I
what was
had
that
friends
like
at school.
What was that like?
Well, one girl, I was thinking about this yesterday. One girl told me to try to burn the school down, and I was like, okay. And then my imaginary friend was like, don't do that. And I was like, okay.
Usually it's the opposite. It's the reverse, where your imaginary friend tells you, and then a real person says
no.
stop.
I think no. It was anyway. It's we didn't know. We were 3. I didn't know how to burn a school down, but I was like, okay. She said, you know what she said? She said,
What?
rub these sticks together until a fire starts. And I was like, okay.
What, it was her like brother in the Scouts or something, and she wanted to like I feel like someone
really
was
wanted to
feeding
get out of
her
class.
something.
She wanted to get out of class. Yeah, I don't know. I still think about that. I'm like, what a weird. And like she was my only friend, so I was like, but
Have you looked her up to see if she has committed arson?
no, because now she's all like. Then she became like a popular girl and never spoke to me again. So I was like, oh. I know secrets about you that you want to burn the school down. Okay.
I'm gonna keep this in my back pocket in case you ever wrong me.
Yeah. And she did, and I was too scared. So it's fine. Anyway, this is not about me. This is about Kat. It says, when I was young, around 3, I had 3 imaginary friends. For now, the main character, besides me, of course, is Herner.
Of all the names.
Why is that it? It's worse than I could have envisioned.
That tells me immediately it's really a demon, because no child is just picking that.
Herner.
If Leona said, "Oh, I have an imaginary friend and her name is Ashley," I'd be like, "Oh, okay." But if she said his name is,
or even like chair or something, where it's just like an object.
Yeah, but if it's like an old 1800s name that no one's touching anymore, like if she said Sylvester, I'd go,
or like Wolfgang, and you're like, where did you come up with that? Yeah,
I'd be like, okay, it's definitely more demonic than I'm prepared for.
Yeah, this is unsettling already. Herner had dark hair and black. Okay, I'm literally getting full body chills from this already. Had dark hair and black eyes, though not entirely black. I, more than 2 decades later, can picture exactly what he looked like. He would show up in my room, the kitchen, our sunroom, the backyard, and his favorite, the laundry room, between our family room and the garage. I was the only one who could see him as far as I know. Herner had a habit of being an absolute asshole. And I don't mean I was the asshole and blamed it on him. I mean, he would cause chaos and break things all the time. Dinner was knocked to the floor, a vase shattered, and pieces went skittering all over the kitchen. My toys would go missing and later turn up, stuffed up our closed fireplace flume.
No. Herner.
Herner, don't burn the toys again.
Herner the burner.
Oh, that actually does kind of work.
That's fun.
We found that one out because, oh my gosh. Okay, we found that one out because I bumped it at age 3 while pretending to be an officiant at my friend's wedding, and that was the pulpit. So in the fireplace, like bumped it by mistake, and literally toys and animal droppings and dirt came falling out of the flume of the fireplace onto
Like,
her.
what was his plan? Like,
He's
scary.
Scary
for sure.
scary.
But also, like, kind of scary, stupid. Like, what was the point of that besides just hiding things?
Oh my god. And she even says, sadly, that princess dress had to get thrown away. Maybe he just really wanted to ruin your wardrobe. I don't know.
Maybe he just thought you were noisy and wanted to shut you up, and it was all the noisy toys, you know?
It feels like the thing where you're getting blamed for something you didn't do and your family doesn't believe you, and it's like creating a division, you know?
Yeah.
And while I was in the room, I was never the culprit, though my family had a tough time believing me. Don't blame them. I mean, I don't. I feel like if my daughter was like, I don't know, Herner did it, I'd be like, okay. You know? I mean, I'd be like, tell me more, but also I'm skeptical.
Yeah. I as much as I think I would believe my kid saying anything, if a toy just went missing, I'd go, what the fuck?
If they were the type to also hide a toy and go, I didn't do
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I'd be like, I don't believe you. But if all of them flew out of a flume and I knew you didn't know how to do that, I'd go, oh, okay, so Herner's actually very
Herner's
fucking
here.
real.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, she says, but it didn't stop there. Missing toys, while 3-year-old me's biggest tragedy was small potatoes. As I got a few months older, I vividly remember watching Herner hit my younger brother on multiple occasions, creating welts all over his arms and legs. Oh my god, and he couldn't even see it. What's happening? Ugh.
Yeah.
I always got in massive trouble for doing it, despite my protest that I had not done it. My brother, being about a year old at the time,
so he couldn't even say anything.
Baby couldn't defend me either. A baby.
So this thing hated kids then because it was trying to hurt the baby.
Like
it was trying to take your toys
life.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just trying to make you miserable. Also, like, was this a child-sized imaginary friend or like an adult?
It's a great question. Maybe we'll get answers. I don't know, though. And as far as I know, even he had no idea why he would end up with these bruises and welts on him. It all came to a head when I started sleepwalking and waking up screaming and covered in bruises.
I beg your finest pardon.
On multiple occasions, according to my dad, I walked into the living room where my parents were watching TV and started to scream. Oh my god. I would lose my ever-loving shit if my child did this. Wow, okay. I would start taking my clothes off in the middle of the living room too, and every time I would have new bruises all over my legs and arms. Best part, I don't remember any of that. My dad has had to tell the story to me multiple times. Well, all those eventually built up for my dad. By the time I was 5, my imaginary friend the demon was causing entirely too much trouble for our conservative Christian household and had been for about 2 full years. And my dad, who non-coincidentally about 8 years later would quit his job to become a pastor, thanks ... pastors, decided he had had enough. He asked me if Herner was in the living room. I told him yes, and he threw open our front door. By this point, pretty much my entire family had told me to quit using Herner as an excuse for everything, and I'd begun to believe he was just imaginary. My dad made this huge show of yelling at Herner, telling him that he was hurting his family and he wouldn't tolerate it. He told him to get out and never come back. Even when I was 5, I thought he was doing it just to make my imagination go rampant and play along with the story. I watched Herner walk out the door as my dad stared at me, waiting for me to give him some sort of sign that Herner had left.
Wow.
I remember giggling, watching my dad as he shut the door, and then boom, nothing else. I blacked out or something, passed out. Either way, I don't remember anything else of that. I never saw Herner again, though. Even my other 2 imaginary friends faded. I stopped sleepwalking. I still bruise like a peach and wake up with unexplained bruises, but we'll blame that on the lack of spatial awareness and the fact that somehow, me too, I walk into every piece of furniture in a 5-foot radius. To this day, my dad tells that story. He didn't believe me for a very long time about Herner's existence, but his final straw was watching powerless as his kids kept getting hurt. And when Herner vanished, as he was commanded, well, my dad now swears up and down that he believed I did have a demon attached to me. Sorry for the long story. I figured y'all would get a kick out of it. Love from Kentucky. Hi, Christine and fam. At least at episode 282. Oh, so you're far enough that I've moved here. That's pretty far.
I think so, yeah.
I guess I've been here for several years, but anyway, wow. Thank you for the story. That is out of control.
I mean, honestly, I don't blame your dad for becoming a pastor after that. It's like, okay, wow. Well, if Herner's still walking around Kentucky and needs a new place,
get out of here, Herner.
That's wild. I feel like I would love to know the levels of demons or dark energies out there, because sometimes you hear like, don't challenge it and tell it to leave, or like if you do, it's going to get worse. But then others, it's like, tell them like this is your space and they have to respect your boundaries, and they just walk away.
Well, so
that's
there's
crazy.
Like minor demons that are like less powerful that you're supposed to be able to tell to just get out. Then there's like the stronger ones that, yeah, like you said, can stay if they want to. I don't know.
Wild. Well, it sounds like you're blacking out was like him like detaching, like unplugging you from him, you know?
Hey, I don't like this.
What?
Herne, Herne, the hunter, is a Celtic and German demon or phantom hunter from folklore and mythology. I just Googled it.
I would love to know if that listener has ever looked up Herne to see if the pictures match the memory.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Kat, go look. I'm curious. Because there's a whole Wikipedia page on this motherfucker.
Well, thank you, Kat and Herne, and also Kat's dad for saving you from Herne. And this next one is from someone who uses double pronouns. Yeah. This is Kelly, she, they, and the subject line is Ouija board, demon, and dismembered neighbor. Great.
Oh no.
My name is Kelly. I've been listening since 2019, and y'all helped me keep my sanity through cosmetology school. I was at the New Orleans show for Here for the Booze. Oh! Wow. That's very sweet. And I listened to the podcast religiously and even got my husband to listen with me when we run errands on Sundays.
That's the goal. We're trying to be a Sabbath activity for the whole family to enjoy. I just want to
make all the men listen to us, whether or not they want to at first. I have both a paranormal and true crime story, so we get 2 for 1.
Man, double pronouns, double stories.
Okay. I wonder if you're a Gemini, Kelly. Okay, so Here's the paranormal story. I have a lot of paranormal stories. I could honestly write my own book about them. And to my mom, seeing orbs above my head when I was asleep as a small child, to having an intelligent interaction at Myrtle's plantation. Ooh. But the one I want to share with you today is about the Ouija board demon. To start off, my mom had always been against Ouija boards, so naturally when I got my first apartment, that was my first purchase.
See?
My sister came over to visit me one night, and after dinner, we decided it's a good idea to use it. We started asking vague questions like, is anyone here with us? And can you tell us how many there are? And we eventually asked, what's your name? And the planchette started going super fast over the same 2 letters, which spelled Zuzu.
Oh, no.
Which is interesting because I think there's Zozo and there's Pazuzu.
Yeah, there's multiple. Yeah.
We got freaked out, so we forced it closed, but not for long because we apparently weren't thinking. What was wrong with us? I have no idea. When we opened the board again, the planchette started to move in an infinity sign and wouldn't stop.
Mm-mm.
No.
There.
Even when we asked it a question, it just kept going. We forced it closed again and watched The Office to help us calm down and kind of forget what just happened. Later that night, my sister left to go home, and I went to go lay down in bed. I was just about to fall asleep when I heard a loud bang come from the wall.
No!
Where the only room on the other side was my living room.
No! That's gotta be scary.
For context, I live alone and had 1 cat at the time. I thought it was my cat until I looked over and she was laying in bed with me.
And probably like hackles up.
Yeah. So I got up and peeked my head around the corner into the living room. I lived in a small 1-bedroom apartment, so just around the corner of my bedroom door, you could see my whole apartment. I quickly locked eyes with a face that was hovering on my front door.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this tells me not to go looking if I hear a strange noise.
It was pitch black, darker than the room around it, and had red eyes.
Ew!
The eyes weren't glowing, but you could tell they were a deep red. I slammed my door closed and ran back to my bed.
Is that you?
I know. Also, I like that you're going to run back to the bed of your apartment where you're alone. I would have flown out of that room.
Yeah, but how do you even go anywhere if it's facing if it's like blocking
that's true.
you? Because that's the only exit.
Yeah, I don't know what the
I don't know
right
what I
answer
would
is.
do. I would probably call 911 and be like, I'm sorry.
I think in a panic, I would kick out a window and just keep it chugging, keep it moving. I don't know.
I'd love to see that.
I called my best friend to come over and stay the night with me because I was so freaked out.
That's what I would do. That sounds right, actually.
I couldn't have walked out my bedroom without someone else there. So I have so many other stories about that apartment. I should have done an energy cleanse when I first moved in. Even to this day, I still have some weird paranormal encounters. So that's the paranormal story.
Oh, weird. That's so scary that maybe it unlocked something that now you're still having experiences
to deal
because
with
of that one Ouija board session. That's
and also
really alarming.
The first time you use a Ouija board for it to do that is crazy.
It's like we've been waiting for you to open this bad boy.
It's like you unleash something on day one. That's
like ever since
insane.
your mom told you not to, we knew you'd come find us.
Okay, here's their true crime story.
Oh, right. I forgot it's a double whammy.
To preface, this doesn't involve me or my family, but this happened with our neighbor and it shocked us all. This happened in the midst of COVID. I just had a surgery for endometriosis, so I was in bed recovering. All of a sudden, I noticed a lot of cop cars and a corner van had passed the house.
Coroner.
Coroner. Yes, coroner van had passed the house. My mom and stepdad saw them too. So in true Christine fashion, they grabbed the dog and took him for a walk just to
passively pretend like
just to see what happened while they led him in the same direction as all the commotion.
That sounds right.
When they came back, they had the wildest story to tell. Apparently, one of our neighbors had a fight with his girlfriend that went south. They had gotten into an altercation of DV where he stabbed her to death.
Oh my God.
He had called the cops on himself around 4 a.m. And he had also sustained stabbing injuries that he admitted were self-inflicted during the altercation.
Oh, no.
He was charged with second-degree murder and promptly sent to jail. Rumors spread like wildfire in the town that he had dismembered her as well, but I haven't been able to find any articles to confirm that. But it was still scary to realize that that was right down the street from our house. Please don't read this out loud so my location isn't triangulated. Oh, okay. His name is blah, blah, blah. And his girlfriend is blah, blah, blah. I love the podcast. Hopefully there's a New Orleans show for Poor Decisions. I would love to see y'all again. Love to the humans and fur babies.
I also
and
hope.
Lemons.
That'd be the only, not poor decision we made all
I know.
year. Wow, what a tale. I gotta say, it is something shocking when in your neighborhood something happens, even if you don't really know your neighbors. It's so jarring to feel like, oh, I know this, I'm safe in this community, everything's fine, and then have something so alarming happen.
Well, then it also makes me feel really bad too, because I'm like, oh man, what if it's all the what ifs of I could have heard or I could have called for help, or while I was just sitting here fucking around on TikTok, someone literally got murdered right next to me and I didn't even notice. Then I just feel like a bad human. Even though there's no reason for it, I would just get in my own head about how you really are not that far from danger all the time. It's very, very eerie.
It's not cool.
But thank you for the double story, the double feature. I appreciate that.
I do too. All right, this is from, let's see, Casey. It says, hello all, I'm Casey, she, her, longtime listener, team both.
I love that.
Though if I had a gun to my head, I would have to say milkshake.
Oh, well, let me get a gun.
Me. Let me go get a gun. Yeah. I am so stoked for the Terrytown show in September. Hey, it was Friday the 13th. We had the fucking greatest time.
Hang on a second. I'm really not trying to freak you out. Hello? I swear to God. I'm not kidding. I swear to God, 3 times now I've heard a sound.
What sound?
A sound. I don't know. I'm for sure home alone.
I remember I manifested. I said, I want to see you bust out a window.
I swear, I keep ignoring it, and that was like,
Well, do this. I do this. I put one headphone on. And then you
Okay.
can like really hear.
Okay, you're right.
Now I'm just going to watch you while I read. It's just in case
Let me
something
just lock
goes
the
awry.
door. Hang on, I'm like freaking out. Let me just lock the door.
Okay, go lock the door. Wow. What a journey.
Happy October, everybody.
What a journey.
Also, Jack, please don't put my address in the show.
Don't worry, I handled it.
Okay. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Sorry, Casey, that your whole story is going to be punctuated by like jump scares. Okay.
No, you could start over if you want. That's fine.
No, I wanted you to have the experience of if I had a gun to my head, I would choose
okay.
Team Milkshake. I have many a paranormal story, but this one in particular sticks out. I've been on a good handful of ghost hunts with friends and am in the mortuary business, so when a friend of mine invited me to a ghost hunt at a former funeral home, I jumped at the chance. She claimed I've always had experienced good vibes there, so I went in not expecting anything crazy. The owner had filled a storage closet with all sorts of paraphernalia, demonic idols, books, dolls, etc., and at some point, I volunteered to go in. Not long afterwards, I started to experience sharp stomach pains and felt as though I'd entered a trance-like state, almost as though I were lucid dreaming, but with limited control over my own body. Ew! I only have a vague recollection of everything afterward. I do remember overhearing one of my friends saying that my eyes looked mean and feeling as though my response was not entirely my own, as if something else was controlling what I said and how I reacted.
Oh my God.
That was all they needed to get me out of Dodge, like yesterday. Mind you, I'd gone into the closet laughing and joking with my friends, having a great time. When my friends pulled me out, I felt utterly sapped, as though all my energy had been drained from me, depressed and confused. It took about 20 minutes for me to start feeling back to normal, and I even felt off the next day. Attached is a photo taken shortly before this happened. Maybe it can be debunked, but the blur over my face feels much more sinister given my experience. If it was indeed a possession, 0 out of 10 recommended. Take care, protect your energy. Until I see you in September, bottoms up, Casey. Holy shit, I'm opening this picture. Oh no, unavailable. Tell me
Maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's for the best.
Wait, I'm zooming in.
Of course.
Okay, but the whole thing is blurry, so it's hard to see, but
okay.
I don't like this. It's scaring me a little bit. It's scaring me because she looks so happy and happy-go-lucky, and the fact that this happened right beforehand, it's like somebody like targeted you, I guess. Oh, I don't like it.
No thanks.
No thanks.
Thank you for that.
But also thanks. No thanks, but also thanks.
No, thank you for writing in, but also, yeah, the idea of someone's like behavior or demeanor changing, but then also their eyes. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like to be like, that's not your face. You don't talk that way. You don't look that way. Ugh.
Yeah. It's like someone is really like doing the plankton inside SpongeBob's brain thing. Forget it.
Very uncanny valley. I don't enjoy it.
Well, we've got one more story for October, unless we have a surprise 7th and someone walks into my room.
I don't think that could be right because you started, so that means you're doing odd numbers.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I have one left. And then you've got one left. And then maybe we've got a surprise if someone breaks into this house. So there's one from me. This is from Hillary. He uses she, her pronouns. Thank you for normalizing pronouns. And the subject line is, my dad's cousin caught her dead son on Polaroid. So I guess he's already passed and got a ghost.
Okay.
Hello, all involved with the... Sorry, this really startled me. Hello, all involved with the creation and daily runnings of And That's Why We Drink.
Whoa! These intros, you think you've seen them all.
It's like so I'm not a CEO. I'm a CDROATWWD. I am still a bit behind the times. I just found your podcast not too long ago in June 2024.
No.
Wow. You've got a while until you hear this one, I guess. And have been listening to it nonstop. I even listened to I listened to you guys the entire drive from Illinois to Denver, there and back. Thanks for keeping me awake. And onto my story. My story is short, but still kind of creepy. This story has been told to my brother and I by my dad several times. This happened in the mid-60s. A little backstory. My dad's cousin had a son named Timmy who had hydrocephaly.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say that right?
I think so.
He was delayed cognitively and physically, and unfortunately didn't live much through childhood. My dad never specified his age, but said he was young, and I would guess less than 10 when Timmy died. Timmy, despite his age, was cognitively much younger, and my dad said that Timmy was known to always have his favorite toy hammer. He never went anywhere without his toy hammer, and it was always with him when he would play. When Timmy passed away, they buried him with his hammer. A few years after his death on Halloween, my dad and his sister went over to their cousin's house. Back in the day, you could only take a certain number of photos per cartridge of film. Yes, I recall.
We're not that. I mean, but if they're listening to 2017, we probably sound like fucking babies.
Right. Yes, I
We're
remember.
old like you. Don't worry.
It hurts, but it also is also complimentary that you thought you had to tell us. So
yeah, it is. It's like I'm offended, but also very pleased.
But keep going. You know. Anyway, so she had a new Polaroid camera, hoping everyone knows what that is. Oh my God, what is that going on? Yes. Okay. She had a new Polaroid.
Now they're back. Like now they're hip again, you know?
See, that's what you have to do. You have to just, Hillary, you just have to wait like about
cling
10
on
years
to all your old stuff.
And then write to us and it'll be trendy again. So you don't have to explain it all. She had a new Polaroid camera and she wanted to finish out her Polaroid cartridge and she had one shot left. She asked my dad to stand in front of the garage and she would take a picture of him.
Like, just fucking get in front of the garage. I need to use up this last picture.
Exactly. Look good. Don't waste this for me.
That's such sibling energy. Just like stand there for a minute.
He smiled. She snapped the picture and they shook the image to get it to develop. They were stunned to find that instead of my dad in front of the garage, it was an image of her son, Timmy, wearing the outfit they'd buried him in, that they had bought specifically for his burial, his arms crossed over his chest, holding his hammer. So like an exact shot of him
from
buried.
The grave. Oh, Jesus Christ.
They have no explanation for this, as his cousin had not photographed Timmy at the funeral. It was still a photo of the garage, but it wasn't my dad. It was Timmy as he looked when he was buried.
Whoa.
To this day, I have not seen the photo, but I have been told it's still around. I hope that this spooked you as much as it's always spooked me as a kid. Hopefully, I will be all caught up soon. Still in the 200s. Best wishes and happy haunts, Hillary.
Whoa, I have like goosebumps about that. Wow, I can't believe, Hillary, I would have torn my family's stuff apart to find that. I'm glad
there's literally no way that I wouldn't have snooped through everything.
Yeah, you have a lot more control and discipline than I do.
Anytime I'm at a family member's house and they're like, I'm like so obsessed with like ancestry and asking about my great grandparents I never got to meet. Anytime one of them says like, oh, I have that like, kind of floating around. I'm like, I'll find it tonight. Don't fucking worry. Like I'll climb through the rafters of your attic.
You relax. I'll find the box.
Like I won't do many things, but if you tell me there's a hint of what my family was like that I never got to meet, I'll do pretty much
similar
anything.
In that way. I don't know why, but you and I have that in common. And it seems like a lot of people aren't as psychotically obsessed as we are.
I don't know why. I love I'm like so attached to like the sentiment of it or like the stories
talk to my parents and they're like, and I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
The worst is when you have a family member who doesn't care as much as you, but also won't relinquish.
But they have the information and they don't care to share it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, if you don't give a shit, it's like
are?
You clearly give a shit, or you just like asserting dominance in weird ways. It's got to be one of the two, because if you don't care and you know I do, either tell me the information or give me the thing and I'll hold on to it and cherish it, or just don't fucking say anything. Like you're just, what a weird tease. Like my one of my aunts has a bunch of recipes from the family,
and that's not even like information you have to keep private. Like
well, no, because I was like, oh well, can I take pictures of it so I can have them too? And then it just like has yet to happen for some reason.
What I'm saying is like recipes is not like, oh, they're like private materials or like something that she doesn't want like leaked. It's like recipes.
It takes a I do a lot of asking forgiveness and not permission when it comes to finding out that there's an heirloom of sorts, because if there's a copy of it or if I can take a picture on my phone, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm not going to disturb your collection of it, but like, let me know it exists,
I feel the same.
And I feel like even last year, my mom's Christmas present was I scanned every picture she's ever had.
Oh, we heard.
It was forever. But like the way that would have not fucking happened if I asked to do it, I just had to do it and then just...
Oh, she wouldn't have handed over the...
She would have never handed over half of the images I now have like at the press of a button on my phone. And like they're all scanned, they all look pretty, they're all like organized. I know exactly where every single picture from our family since the 1880s I now have on my phone in perfect condition. Why wouldn't you give that up? Why would you make that such a fuss? So I have family members all across the board who are like that. And
I think that's a very extended family thing. Like, 'cause
eventually,
I see that in a lot of,
especially because they're getting older, I don't think they understand the ability to digitally share things. And so when they hear, I want the recipes, for example, they think that means you no longer have the recipes.
well, but I also
instead
think
of
part
like,
of it is more of a fear of like, don't just go posting this on the internet, you know?
oh,
Because
I
I
hadn't
think a
even think
lot
about
of
that.
people, at least in my family, a lot of it is like a fear that you would share it like outside of the family or post about it or like,
No, I don't think that's it for my family. I think it's like people like they're afraid of never seeing it again because they don't know if they'll see it. It's very. I think they're just a lot of my family is not like in tune with like tech. So,
interesting.
but yeah. So and there's a few family members where I have to just kind of do what I gotta do, and then leave everything as if it was untouched, and they never know. And then like that's just how it has to go sometimes.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first. I have stolen information digitally, but you still have it, so don't complain. There it is.
I have stolen information digitally sounds a lot scarier than what you're actually saying, but okay.
I think that's what they hear when I say, "Can
Oh,
I have
yeah,
grandma's
maybe.
recipes?" And they're like, "You're going to steal my information digitally."
But that's what I mean. There's this fear of the internet. Like, where are you going to put it? Why is it being leaked? You know, and it's like, that's not, no. Okay. Hello, this is from Jackie. This is called Hello, and That's Why We Drink Crew and Everyone in Between. My name is Jackie G, and I have a wild, isn't that your grandma's name?
Jackie G is, and that's a grandma, by the way, who gives me shit when I ask for it.
I know. That's why I even mentioned it, because I was like, I know that's, yeah.
You know what Jackie G just gave me? She just gave me the oldest heirloom that the family has, which is it's in my closet right now. It's a vase that my great grandma brought over from Russia.
Whoa.
Yep, and she hid
Brought
it
here?
brought to the States. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's like one of the only things that she brought with her, and she was pregnant with my great grandma at the time, and so she hid it under her pregnant belly, so nobody knew that she had it.
I was gonna say, how did she keep a hold of it? That's amazing.
Yep, and I got it now.
See, it's like, why not share these stories? I don't understand. I think you're right. There's like a holding on to it that people feel power in.
Yeah, I think my grandma was like, I would rather, while I'm still here and like in control of this thing, I would rather be in control of who it goes to, and you care the most, so.
Yeah, and tell you the story of it. Yeah.
Anyway, Jackie G, what a great way to end this episode for spooky season.
I know, this is perfect. Okay, hello, and That's Why We Drink Crew and everyone in between. Love it. My name is Jackie G, and I have a wild story for you. Starting off, I love y'all. That's all. And yes, you can say my name. Well, good thing, because I already did multiple
Thanks,
times.
Jackie G.
So when I was listening to the April Fool's Listener Tales and I got to Eva's fake story, I could have sworn that would be one of the real stories. Because listen, when I was living in a small town in Central Florida, I was living in a neighborhood just like the one Eva described. All the houses were pretty much small one-story homes with screened-in porches. All the streets of this neighborhood dead-ended at a lake. Like each street was off a main road, but all the streets dead-end at this one lake. So the house I'm about to describe, or that Eva described